the detective. Okay. So I learned about CYA. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with CYA. I guess it's a familiar thing for people in business. Are you guys familiar with CYA? You guys know what CYA is? This is like a foreign concept. She knows about it. Anybody else? Yup. Yes, yes. There's that many people who know about that? Cover your ant, cover your ass. Oh, this is that many people know what that is. Damn. I guess I'm just not as professional as I fucking think I am. So, I am going to take accountability for myself. Right? So, maybe I didn't cover my ass good enough for uh maybe I didn't cover my ass good enough for the investigators and my dealings with investigators. But now I fucking understand it. And somebody like went over it with me today, exactly how you kind of do it. And I was like, wow. And what's funny is that I kind of have been kind of seeing some of it playing out with Scientology in the emails, like with the CCing of things. So today I got a message, an email from the JA, which is a judge's assistant, which I didn't even know that that's what they call it. Because the JA, I always knew the JA as the clerk of the court. Like that's what I called the JA as a clerk. Now Jay in Florida has been establishing a really good rapport with the JA in his civil case. I mean, some people will cover for themselves before anything else. Well, this is how to do the CYA in emails and replying to emails and CCing in emails. And so the JA reached out, said that they had an investigator. And then shortly afterwards, the investigator reached out, or I think actually the investigator reached out before the JA did and said that, hey, I'm your investigator. You know, give me a contact whenever you need. Well, like it's the judge's clerk, though, not a clerk. Right. So it's a clerk because in court, there's three things you need in court. A lot of people don't know this. Okay. Back in the day, man, back in the 1800s, 1700s, when they had court, there was three people that needed to be there. All right. There was the sheriff, the clerk, and the judge. You'll notice that in a lot of places, the post office is the courtroom. Really cool thing. So I called him. Then I texted him. His one number, it went to voicemail. And then I texted him. I said, hey, I'm reaching out. And then I emailed. I said, hey, I texted you and called you. And just give me a call when you have a chance. And then I was like, you know what? He gave me two numbers. So I went back and called them on his other line. He picked up. Had a great conversation with him. He said he investigated me. And he did an AI search of me. And I just gave him a warning. I was like, I have a lot of haters, just so you know. And then I said, I did an investigation. Then I asked him if, how long was he a cop? And so he kind of chuckled. And he's also a Latter-day Saint, a Mormon. Not sure if that's good or bad. But right now he seems like all fucking business. We discussed. I told him that the last investigator got let go and that the prosecutor said that he didn't give him a drive. So I told him that on Tuesday, I will go to the prosecutor's office and drop off a hard drive for him to then be able to go and pick up from the prosecutor. And so I had that conversation, kind of give him an idea of some things that I was thinking about doing real briefly. And that was it for the phone call. And so I followed that phone call up. This is something I've been watching Jennifer do and Janet Wheeland. And so after the phone call was over, I went to my email and I replied to his email that he had. And then I replied all. And then I went and CC'd David Goldberg, the deputy district attorney. And I said, hi, David, which is not, they're a different David. They're both David. I'm not going to say the last name of the investigator, but David Goldberg, the attorney. I said, it was a pleasure speaking to you and meeting you on the phone. Per our conversation today on 2/27/26, I just did a bullet point. I have the aforementioned things. One, I will deliver a hard drive to the prosecutor at his office this coming Tuesday. You could pick that up. You could coordinate with him to pick it up when it's convenient for you in downtown LA. I have I have CC'd the deputy district attorney to this email. When you make your first contact with him, please let me know for my records. C, I will, in the next 48 hours, provide a list of possible investigatory tasks for you to complete if you feel that they're within your wheelhouse or that they're relevant. And then that was that. Yeah, so I called my Mormon friend and said, is this a problem? And they're like, well, maybe. But like the Mormon publics are very keen on being honest. And so it might be a good thing. And so far, this guy was not like these other three guys that were like snake salesmen. And he had requested, there was an order instantly done, which I didn't know that they had to do, which is just basically they're ordering the investigator because it's all money. The clerk orders the investigator, and he asked for to be billed. He asked for 50 hours of investigatory time, and the court signed the order. So the other PIs, they were only given 19 hours. So I find it interesting that this guy was like, no, I said 50 hours and they approved it. So I got this investigator. I got 50 hours, and he's right along the beach. And so I feel so I wish I kind of have known kind of that process for the emails before, because I wouldn't have run into the issues I have with the investigator and all that shit. I was contacting them separately, and I should have been CCing them and the investigator together. But I live and learn. Okay. So I was blaming it on a third party not being responsive to my phone calls. And that was true. But where I failed was accurately communicating with them with the CCing and the replying to keep full record of what was going on. So like it hadn't even been a process in my mind because I'm so like trustworthy of people. So but the prosecutor took full advantage of that, and that's not going to happen again. So I'm all good on that, and I will forever proceed that way. And like I just haven't really been in like any type of position where I fucking hated emailing. Like a couple years ago, I would have fucking laughed at you if you wanted my email address. Like, fuck no, man. That's just for fucking garbage. Like I didn't have any emails ever just to get into like different accounts, but like I didn't fucking respond. Like I had like one friend who sent me pictures on email. I'm like, fuck you. Fucking hate going on this fucking thing. So I've come a long way just on my email use. So I got that covered, and moving forward, that's not going to be a fucking problem. And now I have an email to the JA or the clerk. And so if I have any questions, I'm going to just pass it through her. And like the CC, like it's something that Scientology and the LAPD, man, they CC the fuck out of everything, man. And like, there's no rhyme. And same with Scientology, there's no rhyme or reason to their CCing. They're just CCing every motherfucker. And if you don't know what CC is, it's just like, see, like, I don't even really get to CC because it's a two. It's basically the two. Like sometimes there'll be an email to like 2 or 3 different people, and then there'll be 2 or 3 more people on CC. So like you're like not as important as the people on the 2, or the CC's there just for their own, just so that they're aware of it, but they really don't want you to respond to it. Carbon copy. Curtis's email. I don't know who Curtis is. Carbon copy. I was going to say, have you not seen the Colts emails? Yes. Yeah, so send a copy. CC. Yeah, it's just for the records in. No, the TO is for people the message is directed to, and the CC is for people to be made aware of the communication. Like when you used to put the copy paper between the 2 pieces of paper on a typewriter, old school. Yeah, I get that. Old school lingo and carbon. I understand the carbon paper, but I didn't understand it in that sense. So the CC is just for people to be aware of the communication, but not to communicate back. And the 2 are for people to communicate back. And then the blind C is a blind copy. Basically, they're being sent a copy without knowing who the other people who receive the copy are. But yes, the Scientologists use it all the time. And I actually have to get my header. I used to have a nice little footer, so I'm gonna have to create a little footer for all my emails. Without the main recipient seeing it mainly. Okay. So that was quite the learning experience, and I was like, oh damn, this is like powerful just to kind of like do that, and then to reply, and then the reply to all, so that there's a command, and then okay, so here, help me better understand this too, because I don't have this. What's the difference from a reply all and a forward? Aren't they the same? Gotcha. Because the CC's kind of just, it makes people accountable, and the BCC would be able to blind carbon copy. No, forwards go to a different address. Forward sending a message chain to a third party. Okay, see, I didn't know that. All right, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. And then so a reply only goes to the twos? Or no, excuse me, from the from. The from to the to. So reply would be back to the from. Yes. And reply all goes to all the twos and all the CCs. Okay. All right. I got that down. All right. Like I said, I really didn't use email a lot. Especially like trying to like hold people accountable and shit, man. I just haven't used emails. So that's a nice little tool. You know,